Hey, Captain, look there! Yeah!
Louise.
Oh. Richard. My St. George.
Louise. Louise, are you all right?
Yes.
Well, why don't you get up then? Are you surprised to see me?
Yes.
I've roamed through many lands for 10 long years.
Elaine, this is Cavalier Richard Stiller, our celebrated neighbor.
Your devoted servant.
The Jack of Spades in person.
It's an honor and a pleasure to make the acquaintance of the Baroness.
The Baroness of Faldon is our guest at the castle, and as you know, she comes from court, where she knew the Queen's magician, Nostradamus, and apparently he taught her a few of his secrets. She actually predicted your return.
My lady has trumped the Jack, but may I ask why the Jack of Spades?
The son of Spain has given that shade to your features, my Cavalier. And every time I read the cards, you always come out between two hearts.
There they are. They've been set upon by brigands. Forward, at a gallop. Hurry! Surrender, rascals! Give yourselves up! Give yourselves!
Cavaliers, help at once! There are friends! Richemont! Stop them, do you hear?
Hold off! That's enough!
Richemont! Are you out of your mind?
He said to stop!
You continually confuse orders and counter-orders. And now you charge wildly amongst us, placing your men's lives in danger, as well as those respectable friends who have come to our aid.
My lady, I beg your pardon, but we were anxious about you. These glades are full of outlaws. Gentlemen, I ask you to accept my apologies and those of my friends. Ride on!
Apologies accepted.
No goodbyes, my Cavalier. I have a feeling that we'll meet again soon.
The world is very small, Baroness, and time is on the wing. But I'm only here in passing. My home is now no more than a heap of moldering ruins.
You are young and full of enterprise. It would not be difficult to rebuild it.
Until now, I've done nothing but seek after my fortune.
Cavalier, your fortune is here. You'll see.
Madame?
Gia.
Now you mustn't smile, Richard. Helene is a remarkable woman and powerful. Isn't she beautiful?
Ah, as beautiful as the summer moon. But I prefer the stars, and the only one that counts for me
Do you mean to say that it was my influence that brought you back to the land of your childhood?
I'm out of practice with madrigals. I was a little clumsy.
Only a little imprudent. You may need a few lessons in this interesting subject. We can begin tomorrow evening if you wish. There's a ball at the palace. I'll expect you.
But...
It's an order, soldier.
Castle of the Bats, just as Neville described it to me when he came to propose that I sell it.
There's plenty of good land to cultivate here, Captain. How could you think of giving it up?
Put the horses in the stable. I have no family left, and I only know one profession, that of fighting. That's why I want to give up my estate, in exchange for a good regiment.
I can't understand what interest the king could have in this region that's so far from Paris.
It's simple enough. His Majesty wishes to have a fortress in this area where heresy is spreading rapidly.
What?
Is it true that in this part of the country there are more heretics than crows?
Eh?
Crows.
Oh, crows.
What do you say we continue our discussion over a flagon of Maitrene's good wine? Come along, let's go in and drain it.
Great, let's go.
Wonderful.
Wait till you taste those fish.
And a barmaid here.
Really, you.
Bless us, will you look who's here?
How you've changed, but I recognized you all the same.
Yes, Monseigneur. Papa, it's Monseigneur Richard Stiller.
What a surprise, Monsignor. I feel as if I was seeing the Count, your father, again.
Is it possible that at your age, life hasn't taught you that it's useless to waste tears on the dead and buried past? For the moment, we must ask your hospitality for a few nights.
Why, you know this house is yours, Monsignor. It is we who are your guests, and for too many years we have abused your generosity.
Good. Now listen to me. Before they begin calling me Richard Lackland, I want to make you a present. This tavern is yours. I promise you, not even the King of France can take it away from you. Oh. Now let's drink, and get your beds ready for these friends of mine.
At once, Monseigneur.
2 mattresses on mine.
3 on mine.
Richard, you've mistaken the figures twice. I think you're doing it on purpose.
It's the only way I can manage to stay close to you. Oh, Louise, how I detest these court dances.
They may have grown up together. They may be no more than childhood playmates, but this is a little game I don't like at all.
In Spain, I learned an exciting dance in which the gentleman and the lady face each other for a half an hour, like the bull in the matador. I'll teach it to you.
Another time. I think we've been the center of attention quite enough for this evening, don't you agree?
I have the unpleasant sensation of paying the piper. Am I wrong?
I can only say that you are remarkably lacking in that virtue which our English friends are pleased to call control. My beloved cousin.
Shall we go out for a breath of air?
This ball is on the verge of becoming extremely boring.
I'm convinced that you're absolutely right, dear cousin. But there are times when I feel that you do not understand me.
Explain yourself better, then.
I'll speak clearly. I'm a jealous man. Louise's absurd flirting upsets my plans, and this strange childhood friend who returns home at the most inopportune moment could easily become a serious obstacle.
Monseigneur, permit me. Why don't you eliminate him?
Yes, but quietly. Without scandal and without bloodshed. Understand? I would dislike to spoil the ball.
But, my dear cousin, why should you disturb yourself? Uniting the useful with the delightful. Perhaps I could remove him from your path myself.
I regret going contrary to any desire of yours, but I much prefer more thorough ways.
Louise, The night is lovely and insidious, and I want to tell you many things that I beg you to forget at once.
And I beg you, Richard, to say nothing more. I know that I shall never be able to forget this instant. But let's not speak now. The night has the power to change our words. It's better to speak when the sun is shining. Tomorrow, Richard. Tomorrow.
It's really cruel of you to make me wait until tomorrow. Please listen to me this evening, I beg of you. Oh, forgive me.
Cavalier, be good enough to mind where you're putting your feet.
From the looks of you, I should put at least one of them in a certain part of your anatomy, which the presence of a lady forbids my naming precisely.
However, I don't believe a lady's presence forbids my naming precisely how the small question may be resolved.
A few steps from here, there's enough open space to put your suggestion into practice.
Really, Cavalier, to fight a duel over a trifle.
Madame, you will pardon me, but I am not accustomed to taking insults from adventurers.
No, nor I. Will you step this way?
Louise. I told you you'd spoil the evening by inviting that worthless vagabond.
He was provoked by Dumenil, whose unwanted presence is due to you.
You'll teach him the lesson he deserves. Dumenil is the best fencer in the province.
Here's news in exchange for yours. Richard has challenged the best swordsman of Toledo.
Is he the hero you were waiting for?
Perhaps, without knowing it. And now leave me alone.
Give me my sword.
Here, Captain.
What's the matter? Don't worry about it.
I hope you have a piece of land left where your friends can bury you.
They won't bury you. They'll leave your body for crow's meat.
And you will have, cousin, the satisfaction of tending his scratches. That is, if Dumenil doesn't pierce too deeply.
The ball is getting lively.
Huh?
Since when have landless vagabonds learned how to handle a sword?
Ever since the feeble courtiers have forgotten. Huh? Oh, huh? Hey,
Do not count on me, cousin, to nurse the wounds of your brave Dumenil. Look, his skin is as white as a lily. I couldn't bear to touch him.
In a moment, we'll have something. I know Dumenil. There, look at that.
I'll teach you to be less arrogant, you adventurer. As I told you before, be more careful where you put your feet.
I've always avoided putting them in the mud.
Get ready to take a bath, Cavalier. It'll clear your brain.
Why, does your blood clear the brain?
Don't be afraid, mademoiselle. The captain can't stand the sight of water.
He hasn't tasted it again since the day he was baptized.
Mercy, Cavalier, I beg you.
Your word is my only law, Countess.
Why did you waste so much time with that turkey
It was
gobbler?
the least I could do to amuse the company a little.
Just look at you. You're all wet.
I'm sure you'll be angry, but I must confess it. There were moments when I had my doubts of you.
It'll be the last time, Louise, but now it's best that I go away. May I see you again?
Do you remember the fountain at Bellefontaine?
Of course, where we used to water our horses.
Yes. Tomorrow, at 6 o'clock.
Very well, then. How wonderful it is to be here. With you.
I was afraid you wouldn't come.
Don't you understand that it's only because of you that I stayed here?
Richard, why are you deserting your duty? I'm not referring to your honor as a soldier, but now you've come back, you only want to run away from your responsibilities.
After all, the only responsibilities I have left are my companions in adventure.
But your true companions are the people of your country, all of us, Richard.
You perhaps, Louise. If someday you'd like...
No, Richard. The nobility send their elder sons to court, and the rest of the family intrigues and stirs up enmities under the influence of that diabolical monster whom you met last night.
The Duke?
Yes, the Duke, and no one else.
Is he a heretic?
Yes, from Vase, as well as many other things too contemptible to mention.
You were expecting your St. George. And you find only a tired soldier who's concerned with nothing but making a place for himself. Is that right, Louise?
Yes, it is. All the more as the dragon snarls and threatens me as well. You know Henri has promised my hand in marriage to the Duke.
Are you trying to put me to the test? My sword is always at your service, Louise.
I'm not looking for knight-errant. The Duke will have to be defeated with his own weapons. Really, I admit I'm not very clever, but on my side, I have one really expert ally, the Baroness of Faldon, who's promised me her protection.
And asks for what in exchange? The Baroness doesn't give something for nothing.
That's not true. I'm sure the Baroness knows the meaning of true friendship, at least with other women. Then she has a weakness for my brother Henri.
A great weakness, to judge by the way she always looks at other men.
And did your heart beat faster?
Not a bit, but I've never liked women who do the choosing.
And yet, I too have chosen. What do you think you've solved by doing that?
Nothing. Forgive me. I've done nothing more than add to my problems.
Oh. We'll meet again, Richard.
I'll come with you, Louise. You'll have nothing to fear.
No, please let me go alone. I hate to involve you in a family scene.
And I hate the idea of your facing it alone.
No, don't worry about me. I'll send for you if I need you. And if you should wish to send me your answer, my maid-in-waiting goes to Maître's tavern every day. Her name is Giselle.
Very well, then.
May I speak sincerely?
If you can manage it.
I failed you, dear cousin. Isn't that what you're trying to tell me? If that is true, then you've disappointed me even more.
Tell me what you were expecting of me.
Oh, a little more diplomacy and a little less impatience. I'm referring to your vanity.
I could never endure rivals.
Once you have killed your rival, what's left to you afterwards? A poor victim? A widow, perhaps? The girl is madly in love.
I counted upon your arts to persuade the creature, but you had no success either with your art or with your potions.
The potion that is able to put out the flame of love has not yet been invented. As for the rest of it, you may safely let me handle everything.
I'm sure of it. There is absolutely no limit to your cleverness.
Perhaps, but I was the favorite of an old king for much too long. Nothing but vengeance can repay me for the evil he did me. And it is only because our plans are aimed at overthrowing the king that I'm willing to help you. But I certainly am not willing to neglect my own pleasure. And the only condition upon which I will help you is that you give me a free hand with young Stiller. Are we agreed?
Agreed, my lovely cousin. But in the meantime, it wouldn't hurt you to make an effort to be a little kinder to me.
Let's have some wine instead. There's more real dignity in the bottom of this cup than in all the dark abysses of your spirit.
And this parchment indicates exactly the extent of your estates and the rest of your territories. All you have to do now is to sign it. After which I will take this and all the other necessary documents and consign them to Monsieur de Neville.
Just a moment.
There was very little game brought in today, mademoiselle. However,
We don't need it for today. It's for Saturday that you've got to work miracles.
Getting ready for a banquet at the palace?
Oh, yes, a betrothal, I'm afraid.
Uh-oh, just so it's not to be yours, my pretty Giselle.
Oh, no, no, thank heaven. I'm mistress of my own actions. I wish I could say the same about my poor dear Countess Louise.
Why, is the Countess getting engaged?
No, she's yielding.
Monseigneur, I will need your signature and your seal.
Be good enough to postpone the formalities until tomorrow. Giselle. Well, what's the latest news?
I have no message in particular to give you. You understand that under the circumstances, your presence at the Palais Valency would not be advisable on Saturday.
What circumstances? Will you tell me what this is you're talking about?
I've already said quite enough to be severely scolded for it when I get back to the palace.
Listen to me. You're not going back to Palais Valency until you've told me everything.
Well, if you put it that way, Cavalier. Anyway, I'm only giving you the news a little early that 3 days from now will shock the entire province. Countess Louise has decided to announce her engagement to the Duke of Ars during the evening.
What did you say? Why, she's lost her mind. Where is she?
Where on earth do you expect an engaged lady to be, Cavalier Richard? She's at home preparing her trousseau.
I don't understand why you're being so mysterious. I think I'll escort you back to the palace.
It would be much better, then, to avoid the drawbridge and go in through the service entrance.
Richard, if you think you may need some help.
Oh, I don't really need it.
Well, I'll come along anyway.
Captain, your swords.
Your lifeline is very long. Your heart is kind and generous, and your headline stretches all the way from here to here.
The stratagem worked wonderfully. He's perfectly furious.
My bold adventures, Captain. But you mustn't go too far away from us, Giselle.
I can go with you if you like,
no,
madame.
No, that won't be necessary. Just stay here and keep a lookout. It was insane to make this appointment so close to the
I've
wall.
brought a serenadiero along with me. That's what the Spanish call them. If you should hear the guitar begin to fade away, it will mean that danger is in sight.
All right, Giselle. Now run along, but watch carefully.
What's going on? Come now, tell me.
Oh, my St. George. It's the oldest trap in the whole world, and you fell right into it. Richard, I love you. I love you.
Do you really mean that?
You know I do. I love you. And I couldn't wait to see you again.
Oh, Louise. Louise.
I promised you this, Duel. Now is the moment for your revenge. Take my advice. Don't let this opportunity slip by.
Don't worry about that. Rest assured, this time my blade will not go astray. Let's go.
What do you think you can do?
Make a scandal. I'll denounce the Duke's dissolute ways before all the nobles of the province, and I'll call Helene as a witness.
They'll laugh at you. Everybody knows very well that since she was exiled from the court by the old king, she's tried to gain favor with the heretics.
I'll never believe that. In any event, we'll request the king to intervene. It may be true that he has a changeable character, but he's still the king.
But he's also a man, and I don't think you'll find him particularly well disposed towards me at this moment. I followed your advice this morning and refused to sign the deed for the ceding of the rights to my land.
Oh, Richard, I must go. Someone may have noticed my absence from the palace. I'll send Giselle to you tomorrow.
There he is. We've got him. Come with me. Richard Stiller.
Oh, I see my fishes jumped out of the water.
As you can see, I've had time to dry myself, and my heart has not been at peace since then.
Giselle, look at what's happening.
Oh!
Richard. You're wounded. Hurry, open the gate.
Break it down. In. This way.
Up to the tower, Giselle. This way. We're nearly there. Over there. Hurry, Giselle. Get some bandages and
At
water.
once, madame.
Please forgive me, Richard. It's all my fault. I led you into an ambush without even realizing it.
You see, Louise, we met again long before you thought we would.
Henri! Henri, what is this thing you have done now? And I'm really astonished at you, Richemont.
I was not aware of what was done, Baroness.
Then that is worse still. Do you allow others to deprive you of your authority?
I have very little left, madame.
It is still too much from what I can see. And I'm not accustomed to discuss my affairs in front of outsiders. Now, we must make our plans hastily, and we must act even more hastily. The Duke is on his way to the palace now. He has taken it into his head to give a sort of ultimatum to your sister, Louise. I did everything I could to keep him away. He's certainly not going to be pleased at the idea that his rival at this moment is under your roof.
What is that you say?
You may as well recall your men. They're wasting their time in the woods. Richard is hidden within these walls.
I'll kill him.
Henri, when will you ever learn to act craftily?
I'll find him. If I have to turn the palace upside down.
Leave the whole thing to me, Henri. I assure you it will cost me a great deal less effort. The Duke has promised to let me have a free hand. I have a plan. And I beg of you, do not interfere. And now, gentlemen, I suggest that you go and receive the Duke. And don't say a word, or you will ruin everything.
As I was on my way here, I saw your woods in turmoil. Behind every bush, there was an armed soldier. Are your men running down some bandits?
Every now and then we organize a little manhunt. The region is infested with gypsies and roving bands.
I see you take great interest in the welfare of your subjects.
We take an interest in yours at the same time, Monseigneur, since my subjects are yours as well.
Let's not be too hasty, my dear Henri. That still depends upon a detail of great importance. Do you think Louise will be pleased at my unexpected visit?
Well, as a rule, young girls of her age are fond of the unexpected, Monseigneur.
Well, let us hope so. But what I have to say shouldn't come entirely as a surprise to Louise. Have you spoken to her?
This way, Monseigneur.
Louise. Are you looking for unguents? I have excellent ones in my room. I'm very well equipped. I, too, have made war in my own way, you understand.
What do you mean by that? I don't follow you.
Oh, Louise, we are women and we are friends. And I've been in love myself, you know. Your brother is so foolish. I sincerely hope you don't have the same opinion of me.
Oh, Elaine, he's lost a great deal of blood. I bandaged it the best I could, but the wound seems to be terribly inflamed.
The important thing is to have stopped the bleeding.
When I left him, he wasn't bleeding any longer.
In that case, we can manage without a physician, and that's fortunate, because, as you can imagine, we are being watched.
I left Giselle to look after him.
We'll take turns with him. We'll be less noticed if there are three of us. You go up to my room and get the unguents. Now, hurry. I'll join you as soon as I've spoken with the Duke.
The Duke?
He's here, yes. No doubt he will come to pay you his respects. But now, you must think only of your wounded cavalier.
Yes.
Oh, where will I find you?
In the storeroom of the North Tower.
Louise. Louise!
Henri, I've been keeping your sister company. As soon as she had been informed of the Duke's arrival, she went down to the kitchen at once to see to the preparation of a supper that would be worthy of you. Do have a seat, please. Louise asked me if I would entertain you here until she comes back.
Wherever I go, I'm sure to find you in my path.
One of these days you will be grateful to me for my vigilance.
I hope so.
Well, just a drop.
What's his magic power over women?
Well, I don't know.
You wouldn't be right, Dariola. We'd be making a mistake. You don't really know me.
But it doesn't matter who you are. I love you.
A bunch of good-for-nothing rascals. You enjoy yourselves while our captain's in prison.
We're enjoying ourselves?
Well, who's enjoying themselves then?
They're enjoying themselves.
Listen, Paul, how's the captain?
He seems to feel better. His wound has started to heal.
Seems to. That's all Giselle's chatter. Even a short message signed by him would be more convincing.
Oh, fine. And if he can't use his hand?
And that's exactly what I mean, my friends. Your Giselle tells you whatever she happens to feel like.
Then you don't trust me, Germaine.
Germaine doesn't trust anybody, and he trusts women least of all.
Listen, Paul, would you ask your friend Giselle when the captain expects to leave the castle? We have to cover his escape.
Tell your friend, Paul, that you'll have plenty of warning. Unfortunately, without parchment, without seal, and without signature, you'll simply have to trust my silly chatter.
Adieu. You simply have to trust my silly chatter. Adieu.
You see?
They're only joking. But meanwhile, our captain is risking his life.
There now, at last you are completely recovered.
Yes, I feel like a new man again.
In fact, I begin to look at you again with a woman's eyes.
I must say you've nursed me to perfection.
Such a good patient deserves perfection.
Since I've come to know you, I've learned to esteem you, Elaine.
Then I hope that means I've made the first step toward winning your confidence.
I want you to consider me one of your most devoted friends. I'll always be grateful to you for your kindness to me and Louise.
Ah, Louise. We were speaking of you. It's the only subject which holds any interest for our patient.
You can leave the castle tomorrow. I'll go and warn your companions.
Well, I'll leave you together. I wouldn't want to intrude upon the last precious moments you'll have with each other.
Thank you, Elaine.
Louise. Louise, what is it?
Oh, Richard, don't rob me of all my courage. I would like to hold you prisoner here for the rest of my life.
He has decided to escape tomorrow. So we must act tonight.
Very well, madame. I am ready. The Duke has called me to the castle, but I've given instructions to Dumenil.
If there's absolutely no one else available whom you can use.
Dumenil is trustworthy. He is arrogant and brawling, but obeys me. Then I gather you've decided...
Listen to me, Richemont. You have known me for over 15 years, since I was...
You are the queen.
Far more. You know that today I am exploiting the fame of the favor that has long since been taken away from me. The Duke is a blusterer and a poor mediocrity, and he hates me.
But he can't do without you.
Ha! For the conquest of Valency and its province. I came down here to lay siege to that stupid Henri, and my victory was almost too easy, and not worth the effort. And now, there is someone here who could really carry the banner as the first man of France.
That adventurer? That Stiller?
Yes, he's courageous, intelligent, and bursting with energy. The Duke is a blundering fool compared with him. And this is the moment when France needs strong men to force the king, corrupt and idiotic, to accept the law of the future.
You are ambitious.
I know what I'm doing. You tell Dumenil that he will stand guard personally tonight in front of my door.
Is there something I can do for you, madame?
No, nothing. But you will allow no one in the vicinity of my apartment.
Not even the devil himself.
Richard.
What's the matter?
Hurry, they're looking for you. Come to my apartments. They know that you're up here.
Who does?
I don't know.
What if I try to escape by the balcony?
No, Richard. The palace is surrounded. They know that you're here. Come with me. I'll lead the way. This way. Come. Here it is. Come in. You must be terribly tired.
No, but I am disturbed. How do you think they found out about me?
Oh, now, you mustn't be so upset. Nobody will dare come here to look for you. Do you like it? It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a present from the king. I look upon it as a talisman which is endowed with extraordinary qualities. Those amazingly fine lines are, as a matter of fact, the handiwork of a magician. Nostradamus himself attended personally to the execution of the piece.
I thought that illustrious wonder worker was devoted only to the caprices of the queen.
The queen has the unfortunate defect of never rewarding the services of her suite. The king is more generous.
The king has his fascination.
Then surely you pardon me if I was not able to resist his charm. To the king's health.
Here's to the king's health. This wine's full of fire. What kind of vineyard could have produced the grapes for such a powerful wine?
Don't be amazed at it. It was the vineyard of paradise.
What a strange feeling.
Why, it's nothing at all. It's no more than a little dizziness. You're still weak. You must simply rest for a while. Come along now and lie down here for a moment.
Everything's spinning around me. I need some air.
No, Richard. You mustn't go out. It'd be imprudent.
My lady, they discovered that Richard is here. I heard 2 guards speaking of it. They're looking for him.
Oh, I must run up to the tower and warn him and try to help him to escape. I'll go alone. You stay here. Richard, where are you?
I am sorry to disappoint you, sister. But I'm afraid this won't be your only surprise of the evening. Shortly, you'll have another.
Where is Richard? What have you done with him? I'll denounce you before the king's tribunal.
I would try not to draw the king's attention to this business. We have spared Richard up to now. But His Majesty might have excellent reasons for not being so generous.
What evil plot are you hatching? I don't understand. Where is Richard?
You've asked for it. Come with me. Well?
Everything is ready, Count. The men have surrounded the apartments and are only waiting for a sign from you.
Excellent, Duel. Come, Louise. There's your loving cavalier.
No, don't shoot!
Oh, Richard, escape quickly.
Arrest him!
Elaine. Elaine.
Louise, please forgive me. I had a dream that was too great for me.
Elaine. Elaine.
Captain still hasn't made his appearance.
Let's hope he's all right.
If he doesn't come soon, we'll head for the Valentine Palace.
Listen, couldn't we play a different game?
Good. Let's change.
1-0. One.
Captain. Listen, men. The guards are right on my heels. Bring this table to barricade the door. Hurry.
I won.
Head it up here.
There you go.
They're here. On your lives. Don't let them get away. Hurry, break the door in. You there, surround the whole tavern.
All right, here we go.
That's it. Ladies, look off the door. Come on, now let's move. We're gonna get out of here. To the horses.
Heave! Forward, take those men.
Where are they?
They went that way.
Come on. Monsignor, they escaped in that direction.
They must be taken at any cost, dead or alive. Come on, let's follow them.
Open the gate! Open the gate!
For heaven's sake!
Your last hour has come.
Stay down there. Down.
Surrender yourself!
Sister! What can be happening here?
The Lord be praised, good sisters!
Open up!
Amen.
Surrender yourself still or the devil take you!
I surrender only to God if he's not on your side.
Open the gate, sister!
Perhaps it would be God's will.
What's the matter?
God-fearing men in danger, Reverend Mother.
God-fearing men of Holy Church or God-fearing heretics, Sister Pasqua?
Of Holy Church, we've heard them say their prayers.
In their own way, but with great devotion, Reverend Mother.
Let's hear if they're orthodox.
Can't you see I'm praying? Jesus?
How many persons in God, Cavaliers?
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
How many theological virtues are there?
3.
Sorrowful.
I know the glorious mysteries.
Name them then.
Annunciation, visitation, and absolution.
Ooh!
Praise the Lord forever. Open the gate at once.
Thank you, Mother.
Cavaliers, they're opening the gate. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, let me finish this one. Stop! They are enemies of the Duke. You'll be responsible to him for your actions.
Our rule teaches us that only the enemies of God have no right to hospitality, and we have no responsibility toward your Duke. This is consecrated ground where the Duke, in his goodness, has never set his foot.
Surround the convent, men!
Three that way. The rest follow me.
Jealousy is the clear motive which drove these two wretches to murder the Baroness Valdan. Their guilt is unmistakable, and also without extenuation. Therefore, I demand for both death and the confiscation of their property.
This is shameful. This trial is nothing but a mockery. My sister is completely innocent. She is a Valency and must be judged before the king's tribunal.
Your guilt is so grave and flagrant that no other court on earth could judge you differently.
But this is all absurd. It was plainly an accident. I had no intention of shooting the Baroness.
However, you did kill her. And it is that fact which counts here.
I have already told you that the bullet missed its target. It was intended for Stiller.
You admit in that case your intention to kill. The man at that moment was in the arms of a woman to whom you had long paid court publicly, which clearly demonstrates the motive for the error.
But Stiller was an enemy of the Duke.
Oh, if Monsignor the Duke of Oz has enemies, you then consider him incapable of confronting them through the legal means he has at his disposition as governor of this province.
Monsignor, I beseech you, clarify to the public accuser the terms of the pact which bound us in regard to Stiller.
Be careful, Count de Valency. You're aggravating your crime by adding that of calumny. The Duke of Oz, you know, sits in this tribunal as sovereign observer and cannot be involved in this case either as a witness nor much less as an accomplice.
Monsignor, I entreat your intervention.
Gentlemen of the court, the verdict is with you.
Court will pass its judgment.
You have never known how to select your friends.
You are soldiers, but I have no doubt that you are gentlemen as well. You may remain here as long as you feel you are in danger.
May the Lord reward you for this.
However, it is the good rule of our order that no one shall give himself up to laziness. And since we do not have enough sisters to attend to all the activities of our convent, the help that you can give us when you're well rested will be truly providential.
We'll be delighted to show our gratitude in any way.
Excellent.
Am I right, men?
Sister Pasqua has long wished to construct a dovecote at the end of the park.
That's nice.
Well, then I think these two are suitable. Yes.
Oh, very suitable.
Yes, of course.
The other two could lend a hand to Sister Lutgarda in the garden.
They're two of the very best of gardeners.
That will be splendid. Follow me.
Certainly, sister.
Now be sure and get rid of all the weeds.
Don't worry. Past nothing grows again.
I don't want to have to be ashamed of you.
You won't be ashamed.
I have a passion for dogs.
Now come with me.
But...
Off to work.
And you, Cavalier?
Richard Stiller.
Stiller? The son of the old Count?
Yes.
Then the news of your return is true. I see they haven't given you a warm reception.
It's an unhappy period for those who are returning. One must choose.
My son, our faith has many enemies, and she has need of more men like you. We were counting on Valency, but...
Mother, I want to speak to you of that. You see, I've been away for 10 years, and when I came back, I found a situation that disturbs me greatly. And
Madame, leave me to my prayers, Giselle. I am asking God to let me face death with dignity. Forgive me, my lady, but your resignation is equivalent to suicide. The Duke of Vars does not wish for my death. He won't be long in coming here to offer me his clemency. And in exchange for what? I know, but we must attempt to gain time and lay our plans shrewdly. We are women, have you forgotten that? Oh, Giselle, it would be very difficult for me to be more so than Hélène was. I don't understand you, my lady. That woman got her just punishment. And what of him? What of her accomplice? Cavalier Richard? I can't believe that, madame. I saw him, Giselle, lying on the bed of that courtesan. I don't want to hear of him ever again. I want only to die.
I must speak with you immediately, Louise. I bring you an official communication from the tribunal.
I am listening.
The verdict will be confirmed. That is, unless...
The accused, Louise de Valency, disappears to give place to the Duchess de Vars.
Louise, I am not the tyrant you think me. It is your obstinate attitude that exasperates me. Despite all my excesses, I think I am less inhuman than you are.
You are not satisfied with being odious. You now want to appear ridiculous.
A man who is in love, whose love is not returned, is always ridiculous. Why don't you try to get to know me better?
One does not learn to love, Monseigneur. It's felt or it's refused.
It is not so with life. Listen to me, Louise. It was necessary to have this trial. The king has sent 3 messengers, one every day. And he was furious, stricken with grief at the death of Elaine. I couldn't show clemency. And I know if I have you executed, I'll be hated by all the people in the province, but I can't antagonize the king, at least for the time being.
And do you think that by marrying me, you'll receive a wedding present from the king?
No, but the province will be mine, and yours, even against the king.
All your intrigues don't interest me, Duke of Vaz. And I don't want the king against me, at least on this unpleasant occasion.
Louise, I am convinced that if you'll be patient, I'll succeed in winning your confidence, and when you come to understand me better, perhaps even your love. Meanwhile, you're to remain here, free, but under surveillance. Your handmaid will stay with you and provide you with whatever you may need from outside the castle.
It's quite useless, Duke. Yours is a case without appeal, as much as mine before your tribunal.
It may be useless, but it's worth a try.
What news, Dariola?
Oh, terrible, Monseigneur. The trial is over, and it's likely that the Countess will be condemned to death. They say that the Duke is determined to have her, and will give her no peace until she consents to marry him.
It's incredible, the impudence of that scoundrel. What of the Countess?
The Countess is held prisoner by the Duke.
We can't stay here any longer.
But the forest around the convent is alive with soldiers.
That's another reason for leaving. We'll end up by endangering your community.
The Lord helps those who help themselves.
My friends, we must find a way out of here.
We'll find one.
Prepare to leave tonight.
Very well, Captain.
I wish you good luck, Monseigneur.
Thank you. Reverend Mother, I still have a final favor I must ask of you.
You will have every aid that is in my power.
I've got to disguise myself and...
Monseigneur, the situation seems to be stable for the moment. The swearing of the Dunkirk oath has brought us another 2,000 men. Only Sicugnac and Brassy have remained undecided.
There must be a way to convince them.
In my opinion, there should be an act of force on your part. Something even more convincing to their vassals than to them. That right is entirely on your side, and more than anything else, that you are a lucky man.
What are you aiming at?
You need a gesture of pomp, of real power. Something that will put you on a level with the King of France. At least in the eyes of these boorish provincials.
I have won 6 battles. I have justed in the tourneys of France, Italy, and England, too. Isn't that enough?
At the Tuileries, but not in the provinces. Here they want to see you in action. And if you'll follow my advice, you can seize this moment to rid yourself in grand style of several rather quarrelsome characters.
Halt there. Where are you going?
I'm here for guard duty with Richemont.
If you see Carlo, tell him to come down here. He's slept long enough.
I'll tell him.
Well then, my very noble friends, what do you say to my proposal? Shall we give ourselves the pleasure of a tourney which will allow us to prove that we haven't grown rusty? You, what do you say to it, Senor Carlo?
I and my cavaliers are ready to enter the lists with you.
Good. And you, Senor Marchand, will you enter the list too?
Certainly I will. But I only hope that this tourney does not become a dangerous and deadly encounter.
The tourney on Sunday will be only a friendly joust, which I have decided to enliven with an old medieval variation. It is what our ancestors used to call the judgment of God. The adversary whom I have chosen will have to demonstrate by force of arms his own complete innocence. My lords, by virtue of the powers delegated to me, I have decided to offer the Count of Valency the possibility of vindicating his honor in the lists.
But this is diabolical. Going into the lists with that boy means only that he will murder him.
Quiet, I beg you.
Give the Count's sword back to him. Until Sunday, it is our desire that you will consider yourself our guest.
Monseigneur, you know I have no arms for a tourney.
I have an entire collection, and your only problem will be that of making a choice.
Shall I be able to see my sister before the encounter?
At whatever moment you wish. I have just told you that you're a free man.
Thank you, Monseigneur.
And now, you will accompany the Count of Valency. Now then, my lords, let me warn you. Lances with wooden points and swords with blunted edges. I will not have the shedding of a drop of precious French blood.
Do you know where they're holding that traitorous Count of Valency?
If they haven't given them the axe yet, you should find them in the room at the end of the corridor.
Thank you.
Hey, just a minute. Who are you?
I belong to the guards of Richmond. Why?
I have the impression I've seen you before.
I don't doubt it. We've been here for over a month.
You're Richard Stiller.
This tourney is only a pretext of the Duke's to murder your brother. At this point, I'm resigned to everything. Something must be done. We can't allow things to end this way. It's no use, Giselle. I'm now all alone. Cavalier Richard.
Louise.
How dare you come to the castle? Now go away. The guards will be here any
Louise,
moment.
I can't explain it all to you now. Come away with me. We must escape. I know a way out.
You're being impudent. I don't want explanations.
Louise, I was deceived. Elaine induced me to go with her to her apartments where she gave me something to drink to make me lose consciousness.
The heart never loses its memory.
But I did nothing to wrong you. I love you, Louise. Come with me. Let's go away. There's no more time. Come.
There he is, it's Richard Stiller!
Put up your sword or I'll kill her.
Take him away.
Adieu, Louise.
Be brave, my lady. There is one hope left. Your brother.
Yes, I. By preventing me from killing him, you saved me from a criminal action. Now, if I succeed in killing the Duke, I will save you, him, and perhaps even myself.
It will not be possible, Henri.
Even if I am to die, I don't mind it now.
Henri, no. No, your resignation may bind me for the rest of my life to that devil.
My death will have no effect on your destiny.
But we must try to save ourselves. We must try in every way. Giselle, yes? Run to the tavern and speak to Maître Reneo, his daughter. Tell them to warn Richard's companions. Yes. But you must hurry. Yes, at once, madame.
I don't know whether we'll meet again before the tourney, Louise. Pray for me, if you can. Adieu.
No. No, Henri. We'll be together again, dear.
Later. Forgive me, but it is never too soon for a piece of good news. If you have lied, it will be you who will remain in the torture chamber.
That is a risk I'm happy to take. I follow you.
It is a spectacle I do not intend to enjoy alone, Wish.
Remarque has agreed to fight with the Duke's party in the lists.
The coward. So he, too, has gone over to the Duke's side. Lars has deceived us. If Remarque takes the field, we'll all be overcome.
We're still in time to withdraw from the tourney.
No, we have accepted now. The Duke would use it as a weapon to dispossess us.
After all, it's only a tourney with weapons of wood.
Certainly we'll lose a bit of our prestige, but the hearts of our vassals will not desert us if we take a fall from the saddle.
Yes, you are acquainted with the hearts of the people, not with how their brains work.
What if we should request a stay of action from the king?
No, what would be the good of that? The king will be persuaded by the emissaries of Vars, and he likes tournaments anyway. He will understand the situation only when it will be too late. Now let's go.
You're not very curious. As a rule, men in your profession ask 1,000 questions.
And in your position, they save their breath for their last gasp.
Well, I'd like to know which of those tools I'm to become acquainted with.
I don't know yet, and I won't be the one to decide.
Who will then?
I don't know. You see that little window? In a short while, I'll get a signal. Someone will dangle a handkerchief from it. If it should be red, then I'll send you before the last seat of judgment as slowly as possible. But if it's white, then we'll pass the evening playing cards, and you'll get a trial.
So that's it. One the color of life, and the other death.
Yes. It's strange, eh? But it's an order that came straight from the Duke. He has his own ideas about the manner of sending people into the other world.
Take it, Louise. You seem to have become very warm.
This game of cruelty and stupidity is worthy of you, Duke.
It's a game I learned from the King of Spain. Well, then?
Stop it, I beg you. I beg you.
Well, then, have you decided? This little white handkerchief in exchange for your hand in marriage. It will only be necessary for you to wave it from the window and your cavalier will be saved. Or I will wave this one.
And what assurance will you give me that you will maintain your promise?
On the occasion of our wedding, I shall grant an amnesty. Therefore, you'll see Richard at the ceremony. And so that you may be certain I consent to your pronouncing the word yes only in his presence. Come, come, my dear Countess. The worst torture is that of waiting. Do not prolong it.
It went well after all, eh?
Release the prisoner from his chains. You'll answer for his safety with your own life.
Don't worry about that. I'll treat him like my own son.
You were born under a lucky star.
Louise.
There, she's tied it.
Thunder and lightning would assist her. In my village, during the Feast of St. Francis, they string a lot of ducks up on a rope, and then everybody takes shots at them with a crossbow to see who can hit the most.
But they would never shoot at a Frenchman in your village, would they? Look at that. The little one is the most courageous, huh? Good work.
What do you mean, courageous? He's the shrewdest. If they see him, they won't have time enough to load the arquebuses. But how about us? They'll be able to aim at us with no trouble at all.
That's right.
My turn.
Easy with the precedence. I'm nobler than you are.
You liar. You don't even know who your father and mother were.
Well, then couldn't they have been a count and a Grand Duchess? Out of the way, slaves.
Thank you, sister.
What's this? What are you doing?
Kissing the cross.
Now it's my turn.
Oh, why should you be
Mario's
next?
waiting for me, and it's not polite to keep a lady waiting.
And just think, I was the one who had the idea of this plaguey rope in the first place.
Thank you, sister.
Good work, sister.
Hurry, quick, Gomo.
Here I am.
Here's your sword.
It worked fine, sister.
Yes, it did work fine. Good luck, my children. And don't forget, never kill anybody unless he's made his confession.
Don't worry,
No.
sister.
We promise, sister.
Let's go, friends.
Goodbye.
Thank the abbess for us.
Rollo, eh? Oh, Rollo, your dagger.
Oh, yes, my dagger.
So you've come at last. I've been waiting for you for more than 2 hours, and I'm dying of thirst.
Oh, my heart's treasure, do try to understand. There was so much confusion. But would you rather come up to my room where we can drink in peace?
Yes, I'd like to, but I'm on guard duty.
Why not? Today's a great holiday. And then your superiors have all gone to the tourney.
I wanted to go myself.
From my window, you can see everything. It's just above the list.
But what if they found out?
Don't worry about that. My mistress is very fond of me. And you know, all she has to do is give a little wink at the Duke. Why, she can even have you made corporal. Come along. Let's go.
Good. You've done excellent work. They look exactly as if they were wooden.
Yes, just so the paint doesn't melt and the iron point doesn't appear.
You needn't worry. Even if that should happen, it'll be too late.
You wait for us with the horses at the edge of the woods. There, right behind those trees.
Very well, gentlemen. You will be careful.
I don't want to see you acting like a widow, you know.
Does that mean you're asking me to marry you?
Yes. But don't give me an answer until everything is over. Otherwise, I won't have the strength to go on.
The signal, Cavalier. There it is.
Let's go, man.
Hurry. You must hurry. I got the sentinel reeling drunk, but he'll give the alarm in a short
How
while.
were you able to get him drunk?
I gave him some wine. Why?
Oh, yes?
You can quarrel afterwards. Tell me, where's the captain?
The prison is that way, but there are guards on duty.
All right, now, hurry. Dariola's waiting for you down
Yes,
there.
sir.
Men, let's go. Get down!
Dogs!
The door's right there. You wait for me outside.
Must be in here.
Friends,
Captain!
how did you manage it?
We've been through a lot worse than this together, Captain.
Heaven will never desert us.
The Countess is waiting for you.
The Countess?
It was she who sent for us.
Where is she?
At the tourney, it's a judgment of God between her brother and the Duke.
Hurry. Let's get out of here. Well, we made it. Keep a watch at that door.
Yes, Captain.
And you come with me.
Hey, the guard!
Quick, go around the other way!
Take them, dead or alive!
Door. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Take this!
Open up! Open up! The door is locked! Come on!
They're on the floor above. They're trying to escape along the gallery.
Go and block the door. The rest, follow me.
There they are. You go that way. Come on, I'll stop them.
Have you repented?
Surrender!
The door! The door! Hold still, will you?
Stand still, little man. Stand still. I'll fix you up.
Have a nice drink? Jermaine, forth. Try and open the main gate. Hurry up now, get started.
If I catch him, I'll kill him.
Hurry up.
Get them on!
Don't turn around. Don't turn around. Did I tell you not to turn around?
Dirty adventurer, you're about to die the death you so richly deserve.
I'll have to take a bath after killing a heretic. Have a good trip to the devil, and forgive me if I follow later.
You lead the way.
Now to the tournament. To the tournament, men!
Oh, good old Rene. Did you come here to see me die?
I've come to save you if you want me to.
Save me? But how?
There are weapons and saddled horses waiting, food and a full purse. Make your escape. In Paris, you can throw yourself at the feet of the king.
No. You remember my father.
That's the very reason, Monsignor, that I thought of it. You can't just against the Duke. He'll kill you.
If that is the will of God, I only hope my sins will be forgiven. Farewell, faithful old Rene.
According to ancient and honorable usage, if at the first encounter one of the cavaliers is thrown down from the saddle, it is permitted that he continue the fight with his sword. And if he is disarmed, he then has the right to request a third trial with a mace. Ready?
The helmet.
Quickly.
Don't be nervous. Try to calm yourself, Louise.
Doctor, how is he?
It's not grave, Countess. It's a surface wound.
Henri. Henri, how do you feel, dear?
Don't worry about me, Louise. I'll avenge Henri.
No, no, Richard. I beg you, let's have no more struggle. Let's flee if we can away from this land.
Forgive me. Louise, we must leave you now. It is our turn to go into the lists.
Good fortune, Cavalier.
Cavalier, I want to take Henri's place, so I can rid the province of this nightmare. Have them announce the second trial.
Are you insane? If they should discover we have given aid to you, we would all go to the gallows.
Don't worry, I'll confront the Duke. Without a little courage, we'll never have freedom.
Yes.
So be it, Cavalier Richard. But you have accepted a tremendous task. Your encounter will be a fight to the death. The fate of all of us is in your hands.
Leave it to me.
We'll await you on the field. Let's go.
Now help me.
Ready?
How are you? Treason. The Lancers have iron points.
They've betrayed us. The Lancers have iron points. Let's withdraw from the tournament.
Scoundrels. No. I'll do battle nevertheless. Have you fear, I'll take care of myself.
Good luck to you, Marchand.
Ready? Go! Ready? Go! The second trial will be a duel with the sword between the Duke of Vars and Count Henri de Valency. Ready? Go!
Bravo, Captain.
Be careful, Cavaliers, not to wound the horse. The Duke of Vaz is dead.
Thank you, senor.
You were great, Captain.
Richard, you were magnificent.
Re-establish order in the province.
I assure you we'll do our best.
Louise.